It actually kind of doesn't. But somebody's saying it sounds personal between you and Dre. It's like, I don't even know the guy.
Right.
And it's like, I think it's unfair to say this is personal when we know damn well half the fan base feels that way. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm in a percentage of
they're divided
3% that is down on Draymond.
Dub Nation is divided.
There are a lot of people down on Draymond. It's not personal at all. I'm able to acknowledge that this guy is going to the Hall of Fame. I'm willing to acknowledge that this guy was one of the most interesting players I've ever seen in my life. This guy, I'm not afraid to say, is one of the best defenders I've ever seen in my entire life. They don't win 4 titles without him, but he's not the same player he was 5-6 years ago when he acted like this, and we measured whether it was detrimental or too detrimental or not, or they were able to overcome it. They're not able to overcome this anymore, I don't believe.
Okay. And
I don't believe they're good enough. I don't believe he's good enough anymore.
Okay. I'm not with you.
Yep.
And you don't even need to rebuttal, but everything you said, I tend to agree with, and especially about the all-time defender. When you and I were doing pre and post a few years ago, the great Jim Barnett said he may arguably be one of the best defenders, and I'll never forget that because he didn't get the super-duper size. He ain't Shaq. He gets the most out of what he's working with. But, Steiny, I tell you, Goodfellas, Scarface, The Sopranos, I love loyalty. And what I have seen is that the Warriors at every turn have had this man's
Let me ask you a question.
back.
Let me ask you a question.
So to me, I get.
I don't want to repeat that.
But Dre, I love you for that because they love you even with what we deem imperfections.
Let me ask you a question. If I told you that I can look into a crystal ball and I can tell you that the Warriors will not win another title with Draymond Green, I don't think you'd trade him anyway. Like I'm not saying if you trade him, you're guaranteed. I'm saying, you would not.
If you gave me a name and said you would win it with this player, bye-bye, Draymond, go bye-bye.
But why won't you sign Clay to an extension right now?
Because Dre ain't where Clay.
So you're not loyal. Like, what are you saying, Goo?
No, I'm loyal until it runs out. That's all I'm saying.
Well, okay, it's going to run out.
You can say I'm loyal to a fault.
27.
I'm scared for Clay because Clay he's worked his ass off. This is different than Draymond and the birth certificate, just like Steph. They're still great, Steiny, but nobody is what they were 2-3 years ago, but you're still good. We just saw them deal with all that stuff last year, get to the conference
dealing with
semis.
it this year. Yeah, they're dealing with it this year, too, because the stuff is Draymond. What do you mean, Like, that's what's infuriating to me. It's Draymond. Is
Steiny,
it?
They're playing the other team. They're not playing Draymond.
I'm talking about 12 years.
Oh, well, you got a lot of run out of it, a lot of parades out of those 12.
And the ship has sailed.
Oh. Now, what if I told you might be putting it all at his doorstep on why the ship has sailed?
Maybe.
What if somebody from afar was like, ooh, hey, Steiny, I almost agree with you, but I think you're putting it all at his doorstep.
It's not all, but who's the biggest common denominator? And who's been the biggest common denominator?
Last year on line one, that hurt me, man. That hurt me.
Well, apparently it didn't.
It cut me.
That's the thing.
And it cut me that they didn't suspend him. I'm going here. Yes.
Please.
They did. How can I hit you and not get suspended?
Okay, so you would have re-signed him too. But you still would have re-signed him?
Because our infrastructure is tough enough to where.
Oh, really?
He's gonna forget it. You're gonna forget it. And we're gonna be back buds.
Why am I disagreeing with everything you're saying? It's not copacetic. Like, have you been around the last year?
Yeah,
2 years?
I have. All right. Who does he play for?
Who?
Draymond.
I don't care.
See, and that's where we're at.
I'm just saying.
He's a Warrior.
Okay, well, you ain't winning it.
And they had a decision to change the channel.
Right.
They didn't.
The other thing that I'm going to try to make a point of 1,000,000 times is there may be a scenario in which they knew they had to re-sign Draymond because there were two options. Right. Come on, Goo. You can't let him walk for nothing. Maybe they said, we'll sign him and we'll trade him.
But the something is what got you aggravated just to get the headache out of the room. That forget about titles. Maybe it was addition by subtraction if it was that bad.
Or maybe
it's telling me it wasn't that bad.
No, it's telling me you know what? If you would have told Draymond to walk, we're not re-signing him. Right. We're not going to make him an asset. Now you know what you're doing? You're letting one guy screw up your future. Because a guy's so bad, you got to send him away. Well, you're going to be worse. You can't do that. You can't, because if you do that, then you're saying, well, geez, now one guy has ruined our future because he left here because he's such a pain. We couldn't re-sign him. Of course we got to re-sign him, but maybe we don't know. Maybe he is on a short leash.
Well,
I don't know.
We could be right. But I had a friend that was divorced 3 times. He said, don't be afraid of what's next to where you stay in a relationship. And that's what you sound like. Oh, if Draymond left, what does that signal? We're not like, that's what it ain't as toxic as I feel like you think it is.
6-6.
Well, you couldn't have did that when they were 5-1.
Well,
I would have won that.
But you know what? You were 5-1 and Draymond started. He started his stuff, and now you're 6-6. And I'm not talking about sticking up for a teammate. I'm talking about personal reasons versus Denver, ejected versus Cleveland. Yeah. You lose. Winding up Anthony Edwards on a Sunday, you lose. You're and then fire. Getting ejected again. Yeah. Four straight games.
And now 5. Was it going to be 9?
And here's the thing, 5-1-0. Fair enough. One bad week, and all of a sudden everybody's out on Draymond. Try 3 now. Or try 2.5 weeks.
And everybody's not out on him because his team is not out on him.
He ain't playing for the next 10 days.
And they got young OKC tonight.
Yeah.
You feel how you feel.
Ain't winning anything with this. This is not championship. This is not championship. Draymond Green no longer. Come on, guys. They can't win a championship like this, having to deal with this. And they're going to have to. You know they're going to have to. So I don't know. Listen, I don't know what the solution is. I don't. But the way I feel right now is this team is not going to win a title. And I'm starting to think that it might not even be worth amusing ourselves that it could. I might be wrong. But
76 more games.
All right.
No, it's not. Evan.
70.
Carry the 1.
Oh, boy. People want to know who got divorced 3 times. Quit being nosy.
What do you mean?
Remember I said I had a friend that got divorced 3 times?
Relaford?
No.
49 Franklin?
No, none of them. It's an older guy.
888-957-9570.